College Football Update with your host, Sean Spencer and Alex Loosemore.
But look, hey, that was week one. So after week one, we're going to give out our game balls. Talk about the guys that we thought had the most stellar performances in week one. I'll start first, and I got to go to the game we talked about first. Colorado, TCU, they had a number of great guys. I know you're going to cover one of them. I got to cover that running back. Dylan Edwards, guy, the mouse, small, tiny, but played huge. I know you used to collect football cards, right?
I still do, yeah.
You still okay? Same here. I don't know why I asked you used to, but there was a card that their football card. I think it was Fleer or Topps. They used to have it where it was little big men. Whereas the little guys that play big, obviously Barry Sanders used to be always on that card. This is that type of dude. Now, he only ran for, I believe, 24 yards, having a touchdown on the ground. But this man caught 5 passes, 135 yards, and 3 total touchdowns, and had an 18-yard kick return later on in the game. We know Sanders, Shador and Shiloh. We know Travis Hunter, Dion, obviously, there's a lot of credit. I love that we're seeing somebody that we didn't know about coming into this game. And he didn't dominate on the ground, but he got his opportunity and he tore it up, getting those 4 TDs. And it's funny because one of the things that Dion said in the press conference after, I mean, among other things that he said, but he was like, this kid, I've known this kid since he was like 4 years old. 4 to 6. He played on the little Pee Wee League team. You know, a lot of people forget Dion coached Little League, Pop Warner, all the way up. So he knows.
Shador's only had Dion as a head coach.
Right.
From start to finish here, yeah.
That's the thing. That's the thing I think a lot of us that look into, especially a lot of those pundits that really dig into it, didn't look at. They overlooked that fact that he brought all those guys in. And I mean, if you got guys that are dedicated to you and they will, go through a wall for you, that type of thing, they'll win anything. There's no limit to what you can do. So shout out to Dylan Edwards, man. I think he balled out, man. Who is your first one?
See, I was going back and forth. I'm not sticking to the quarterback, though. I was going to do Shador. I talked about him earlier, gave him his flowers, all the NFL throws and everything. I am sticking to that game, though. I'm going to go Travis Hunter. He deserves it. Just what he did on both sides of the ball, locking down a receiver. And like you said, it was defensively looked like Revis Island, locking the guy down. And like you said, you guys take on those 10. I got my guy here and just locked him down. Like you said, you look at the box score, you don't see that guy really on there.
No.
And I mean, it's not like he wasn't getting tested. I mean, he had the pick, had almost another pick. Couple knockdowns. Like he had a very good game and got tested, and the 154 snaps, whatever it is, just so freaking impressive. One of the elite players this past weekend, and I gotta give him my game ball here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My number 2 game ball this week. We talked about this guy before, but anytime you get 5 touchdowns in a game, and when you might be your team's main and only weapon, I got to show you love. So shout out to Jalen Miller of Alabama. Obviously, they weren't really tested. And I spoke about this earlier, that this was more of a talent win. They're just that much better. But Milroe took a lot of heat coming off of, you got Bryce coming off. He was the Heisman Trophy winner. We've seen the success he had. Milroe would still left to be seen how he can pass. I mean, he had under 200 yards in the air, albeit still 13 of 18 or something like that. So it wasn't bad, but still you want to see him be able to carry the team with his arm, be able to drive down the field to short, intermediate, and long balls, read defenses, those type of things. But anytime you score 5 TDs in a game, and especially when you score 2 on the ground, I'm going to show you some love. So my game ball goes to Jalen Milroe. Hopefully he can keep this up going throughout the season. And who is your last one?
And again, I told you who my 2 were before. I'm switching them both up. So you talking about Dylan Edwards there. Made me think of a guy in my game last Saturday. And there was a guy, we were kind of wondering, now that now that Bell's in the NFL with San Francisco, it was going to be who's that number one receiver? Who's taking over? Ronnie Bell, not Blake Bell. I was thinking of last night's game with Blake Bell. Right. Now that Ronnie Bell's in San Francisco, it was who's going to be the main guy. It was pretty clearly Roman Wilson on Saturday. Caught all 3 of JJ's passing touchdowns on only 6 of his 6 catches. I believe on only the 6, maybe 7 targets for 78 yards. He was JJ's go-to guy. And I mean, we didn't throw the ball too much, but it seemed like every time we were going, Roman was the main guy we were looking for. So, I'm going to go him for the 3 touchdown performance.
Oh yeah.
I almost want to go Colston Loveland for everything off the box score. I mean, he had 4 catches, 57 yards, but he was doing so well in the blocking as well. He just about got it for me.
Right, which is key. Especially in your offense where you're running the ball a lot. You could have wide receivers that block. Yeah, that's paramount. Yeah, absolutely. So those are our week 1 game balls, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned next week for our week 2 game balls.